An amazing evangelism meeting. You are my God, and I'll praise you. You are my God, and I will exalt you. Psalm 118:28. My husband told me that he was leaving to go to the T.S. Cruz Church in the Philippines on March 14th to preach for their 7-day evangelistic meeting. He said he wanted to take some Seronam church members. At first, I had a hard time understanding, for I thought it was rather an unreasonable idea. However, my husband recommended our church members to join him, and 23 of them decided to follow him on the mission trip to the Philippines. Among them were 2 families with 2 children each, 7-year-old Jaewon and his 10-year-old sister, 9-year-old Changhyun and his 11-year-old brother. Jaewon's father had his leg amputated last August due to osteosarcoma cancer. To these 2 families, I believed this mission trip would be a very meaningful experience. Under the title Mission Trip, everyone was excited, looking forward to enjoying the time touring around. The evangelistic meeting began the very next day after their arrival. With excitement and anticipation, the 23 church members headed to the venue to discover a small and shabby church building. They found only a handful of church members. A long time had passed by, yet no one had walked in. What is this? There's no one here. Maybe we shouldn't have come here. Well, we'll just enjoy the tour. With such thoughts in their minds, our church members anxiously waited for some souls to join the meeting. The members of the T.S. Cruz Church were gathered in a small room, praying in pairs. Would their prayers be answered? We also prayed while waiting for people to come in. About an hour later, people slowly began to walk in. The T.S. Cruz Church members told us to go outside and grab the arms of passerby to bring them inside. One way or another, the number of people in the church began to grow until soon there were no more seats available. The front side of the church faced a main street. Out of curiosity, 200 to 300 children flooded in. Mrs. Shin Jung-hee gathered them by the side of the road. Naturally, the church members under the age of 40 joined in teaching these children. The Filipino children liked the Korean kids who were around their same age. Changhyun and his brother, and Jaewon and his sister enthusiastically approached the Filipino children like good friends with a missionary spirit. They treated the hundreds of young friends with warmth and kindness, who ceaselessly asked their names and ages. Out of their curiosity about foreigners, the Filipino children constantly took a close look at and touched the Korean children. Still, they remained patient and kindly responded to them without becoming annoyed. Missionaries over the age of 50 played a role of nanny to help out the young Filipino moms inside the church. My husband preached in Korean, and the sermon was translated into English by the local Korean junior pastor. Then the local native Filipino pastor translated into Tagalog. The 3 preachers on the podium wholeheartedly preached the love and forgiveness of Jesus. It took more than an hour and a half for the sermon to be finished. Bible verses were displayed on the screen in English, and video clips were presented to help the audience understand better. Still, since the sermons were being translated 2 times, I was concerned that the contents might not get across fully or correctly. However, I decided to let the Holy Spirit take care of the result. The 23 Seronam church members did their best in their allotted roles. Both children and adults concentrated all their mind and soul on the mission work. By now, tourism had been completely forgotten. No one brought up the topic of tourism. Deaconess Jo, who was a good hair designer, volunteered to do people's hair. She was helped by several church members. One would stand in front of the service recipient with a mirror in his hands since there was no mirror on the wall. Another would sweep the floor to clean up the fallen hair, while another would be an assistant to Mrs. Jo. Deaconess Jung, a superb cook at our church, gave a cooking lesson. Filipino deaconesses also provided a healthy vegetarian food cooking lesson. While providing the foods of the two countries for lunch, we preached Jesus at the lunch tables as well. Jaewon's father gave a testimony on how he experienced the love and grace of God. With his family, he also sang a powerful and touching song which well reflected his testimony. The lyrics of the song were translated and displayed on the screen. This song, sung by a man with a missing leg, deeply touched the hearts of many Filipinos. Don't complain why you are the only one suffering. Look ahead on the blessings beyond the suffering and be thankful. Even at this very unbearable moment, the Lord is there working for you. Others may be weary and sitting down, but you should get up, stand up, cheer up, for the Lord is holding your hand. When you believe in the company of the Lord, you know you can overcome all adversities. Don't be resentful for the sorrow you are suffering. Instead of focusing on what you have lost, be thankful for the greater blessings and grace from the Lord. Even at this very unbearable moment, the Lord is there working for you. Others may be weary and sitting down, but you should get up, stand up, cheer up, for the Lord is holding your hand. When you believe in the company of the Lord, you know you can overcome all adversities. We are all of one mind as we were immersed in spreading the gospel. None of us complained or got angry. The kitchen team also worked hard from early morning until late at night. 1 week flew by. We didn't expect to see anyone get baptized. In fact, we didn't do much for the Filipinos. All we did was teach them the gospel. To our surprise, though, there were quite a few people who wanted to get baptized. A total of 24 Filipinos were baptized, 11 children who heard the gospel on the roadside, and 13 adults who listened to the gospel delivered through 2 translators in the small and hot church. One Filipino lady who decided to get baptized shared her story through tears. I have been wandering around all this time seeking the truth, and I happened to hear the sermons here. I am so happy and excited by the fact that my sins have been forgiven and to have learned the way to possess the power to no longer commit sin. I was so thankful and happy for the peace in my heart, and I was assured that this word is the truth due to your kindness. So I decided to be baptized. It was not us who did the work. It was the Holy Spirit who touched the hearts of the Filipinos. He personally spoke to their minds and led them. Therefore, none of us felt any sense of envy. No one boasted of their hard work, because we all knew that everything was the providence and work of the Holy Spirit. We are all thankful and happy that we had been given such an opportunity to be a part of this evangelism week. It was an amazing meeting of evangelism to witness the presence of the Holy Spirit.